Good afternoon. Happy Wednesday. Welcome to the Tulip Tribe collaboration. I'm so glad you're here. It's going to be fun today. I'm excited about it. I've got lots of plans. I actually made notes for myself, printed off things so that I'm ready because it's a big day. Today, we're recognizing our Super Tulips. Yeah. That may be new to some of you, may not even know that there are Super Tulips, but the Tulip Tribe, who is the Tulip Tribe? Why don't we start there? The Tulip Tribe could be you. It is all of the Floral Design Institute students. It's the Floral Design Institute graduates. It's the members of the Flower Lovers Club. It's those of you on YouTube, on Facebook, on Instagram. The Tulip Tribe. If you're part of the tribe, go ahead and put your tulip in. Do a shout out, let people know where you're from, because this weekly collaboration is one piece of connection so that you can meet each other in the virtual world. And then someday you might meet in the real world, but you can start building a relationship. So the Tulip Tribe, students, graduates, Flower Lovers Club, all of us here together, YouTube, Facebook, Instagram. With me in the studio, we got teacher Marisa, teacher Carolyn, and Tech Parker. With us in the virtual world, we have Susie, Caledonia, and you. And today, we're recognizing Super Tulips. That's a fun thing. If you're watching us on your phone, turn it sideways for a bigger picture. If you're on your computer, you can go to full screen. If you're at home on the TV, oh my gosh, larger than life. You've got it all. Super Tulips, who are they? Who are the Super Tulips? What is a Super Tulip? How do you get to be a Super Tulip? The Super Tulips, they help us create an inclusive, a connected, a supportive home that allows all of us to bloom and grow. So Super Tulips really facilitate the tribe, and they help me. They help me build this home for you. They keep it inclusive. They keep us connected. They're super supportive. And with that help, we can all do better. They support education. They support their peers. And they support the teachers. And boy, do I feel that love. And that's so wonderful. They commit their time. They commit their energy. They're invested, both mentally and financially, in the tribe to make us all better. So let's get started and talk about that tribe and the Super Tulips and how it all came to be. For design-wise, you can see we've got a wonderful assortment of materials. So many fun things to work with. Starting with just a big tray. This is actually a picnic tray. I thought kind of appropriate with 4th of July coming up. A big picnic tray. In tulip red, of course. Been using electrical tape to secure the foam in. And I'm using the Max Life, which is enhanced biodegradable, so that it gives us a little bit of an eco edge. It's not perfect, I'll be the first to admit, but for doing this particular design, I need foam, and this allows me to do that. The electrical tape, it's red, so that it matches my container, which makes it a little easier to disappear later. If you saw the Tulip Tuesday, we talked about how you can get electrical tape in different colors. So it gives you a watertight bond that can match your container. A little bit of education. That's the Tulip Tribe. So many different things that you can do. So I'm going to start by building my base. And when you think about the Tulip Tribe and Super Tulips, you've got to have the base first. And the base is the education, your curriculum, your teachers. It's where we all begin. So tucking in some base flowers to start building, doing some pave with beautiful pistachio green carnations. Thinking about guiding people into the career of floral design through education. It would be like our basic floral design program. Could be online or could be in person. Then going forward with the advanced floral design program. Maybe building on into the wedding floral specialist. Or as the curriculum like wedding boot camp or fundamentals, the introduction things. But without that base, there's nothing. So we start with a base. It needs to be strong, needs to be substantial, needs to be sturdy, needs to be long-lasting, timeless, so to speak. And carnations kind of fill that bill. They're reliable, they're steady, they're beautiful, and they start building that foundation. Now, of course, you don't want all carnations. You want some variety. So maybe some poppy pods. But it still can help to build your foundation. It can still be the beginnings of everything. But look how it adds a little texture, a little excitement. You certainly don't want boring in your base. You want it to be substantial and exciting. So while I do a little basing here, what's going on out in our virtual world?
Well, Leanne, John has a really, really great idea. Next time you talk about Super Tulips, he was hoping that you would wear a cape. So we might need to get you a cape with a big tulip on the back.
I need a tulip cape. You're right. And that way I could run fast and jump high. Oh my gosh, I need a cape. Okay, David, are you listening? Next gift for me, I need a cape. I've got to lead the Super Tulips. Oh my gosh, I love that idea. What else is going on out there?
Well, in YouTube, everybody is commenting on your dress. Mm-hmm. They absolutely love it.
Thank you.
And somebody asked, they're curious, how many flower outfits do you actually have?
I have too many. I either wear black, or black, or black, or black, or I wear flowers. And so I am always on the lookout for flower items. And ironically, there's a brand, I think it's out of Spain, called Desigual, and they do so many wonderful flower prints, but they're hard to find here in the States. So whenever I have gone up to Canada, there is actually a Desigual store at the Vancouver, BC airport. Now, how convenient is that? Oh my gosh. And so I'm always finding things there. But yes, thank you. I do love this dress. I've been wearing it a little too much because I like it so much. So thank you.
Leanne and Scott says, I'm sure you'll be able to find a cape around here in Portland walking around the neighborhood.
But it might not have a tulip on it. I need a tulip cape. I'm particular about my capes, you know.
Leanne,
have flowers.
We also have a question from an online student of ours. So Cherie wants to know, when do you add CFD after your name?
Good question. So, Cherie, the steps to get to CFD, you take basic floral design, get your certificate, so that gives you your foundation. Then you take advanced floral design, get your certificate. That gives you a bit more creative approach to all that you've learned in basic floral design. So it takes the substance and adds flair. Then when you have the basic and the advanced certificates, then you automatically receive your FDI, Certified Floral Designer. So you get your first certification, which is FDI, then that qualifies you to go on for international certification with the American Institute of Floral Designers. We recommend you to them. You take their online test, and we have great success with that because they're testing you on what we've already taught you and tested you on. So that's pretty much a must do because you've already passed basic and advanced. Taking that last test is easy. Once you pass their test, then you have that dual certification, FDI and CFD. So basic, advanced, online test, and you've got it. So I've started my foundation. Notice I'm bringing in the elements and principles already. I've got some texture. I'm monochromatic color and creating lines horizontally across. Then once you get a foundation, you need to add in the students. And the students bring the pizzazz. Maybe it's some bright yellow marigolds, adding their own bit of flair to the design. Because without the students, we're kind of nothing. Students are integral to the tribe. So the teachers and the curriculum are your starting point, but the students take it further and enhance the whole design with their own creative flair. You can see tucking in, maybe I'll do another yellow over here, and then bring some yellow over this way because I don't want it in just one spot. Students are all over the world. They come to us from virtually every single country. I'm going to save those buds because they're just too lovely. I can't throw them away, so I'm going to set them over here because I don't need them right now. You know, we have students that come to us from virtually anywhere. Now, when I think about Super Tulips and what they bring to the equation, I think about Jim. Jim is one of our Super Tulips. And how did he get to be a Super Tulip? Jim shares the learning process, and he shares research. He takes it further. He brings us all together a little more. So Jim, one of the things he loves is a post that he does periodically that says, as the coffee brews, and then he shows a technique that he's been practicing. For example, he might be practicing wiring and taping. So in the morning he gets up, he brews coffee, and while it's brewing, he just stands and wires and tapes to practice as the coffee brews. Is that not the coolest thing? I thought, what a great technique for learning. And he shared that. He didn't preach it, he just demonstrated this is what I'm doing, which allows other tulips to go, oh, well maybe while I'm waiting for the toast to toast, or maybe while the kids are in the bathtub, I've got to keep an eye on them, but I can sit and make bows, practice my bow tying. Brilliant. And then he also is an excellent researcher. Way back last year when COVID was just beginning and we were helping you out with our Monday live streams where we're talking about how do you cope with COVID, what do you do, how do you go on, and we were talking about how do you take care of it, and a lot of it was hand washing, using soap, and he had all this research about soap that he sent me, so I didn't have to hunt for it. I could just read through and then incorporate that into my knowledge base. Or when he was studying Ikebana, he shared that on the Tulip Tribe page so that everybody could learn more about Ikebana. So that's a super tulip for you, sharing their learning process and sharing their research. Marisa.
Leanne, Jim also went out of his way and made wristbands for Nikki and mailed them to her.
Oh, wow. Now that is above and beyond. That's sharing time, financial commitment, mental commitment, commitment to the tribe. And then as we go around the world with the tribe, they're from everywhere. I think about Tess, Marmac, I've got to look at my notes, Dorn, Baga. They're from around the world. And what happens when we have the tribe from around the world, we all learn more about what's available around the world. So for example, protea, beautiful protea. It's the national flower of South Africa. And so if we have students there, they're going to be using different materials. Maybe you're somewhere where orchids are just what you have. That is your carnation or your rose. And so when you submit your lessons, you submit them with orchids tucked in. And we as teachers enjoy seeing what you get in your own locale. And the benefit of the program is you can use whatever flowers are where you are. You don't have to use our recipe. We give you a recipe to help, to get you started. But the recipe is simply that, just a recipe. It's not something you have to use. It's a starting point. So for you, if protea is available, use it. If orchids are available, use it. If you hate marigolds, don't use them. Adapt. So I'm going to stop here for a second. I just want to read off some of the Super Tulips so that you know who they are. I'm going to do just first names because of privacy, but the first batch of Super Tulips: Wayne, Rosie, Suzanne, Loretta, Tammy, Joanne, Jessica, Marcy, Arthur, Elisa, Ashley, Trish, Kim, Renee, Jim, Donna, Catherine, Andrea, Teresa, Todd, Casey, Lynn, Heather, Marjorie, Scott, Sue, Rebecca, and Emily. Now these are in no special order. I didn't put them in order of who was the first tulip or anything. I just gathered my tulips. Gathered my tulips. I love that. So there's the first page of Super Tulips. We'll come back to that in a minute, but just wanted to share that because these are the people that make everything special for all of us. They're the ones that pull it together. They're the ones that continue covering our base, that add the color and the excitement, the pizzazz to our tribe. They're the ones that make it unique. They're the ones that are invested in learning, in sharing, in supporting their peers, to bringing beauty to the world. It's so exciting to me to have tribe members that are so devoted to each other that I know they're there. They got your back. They got my back. They really care. And they want everyone to succeed. Now, we're not all the same. You can see my base of curriculum and teachers and students is becoming a tapestry of colors, tapestry of textures, a large variety of different things, because nothing is static, nothing is boring. Well, I do a little more basing. Anything else going on out there?
Well, Leanne, in your arrangement, in the area where all the green carnations are together, grouped together, can you fluff them out? Because you got a little hole.
I do. The
On
light
camera.
green ones or the dark green
The
ones?
light green carnations right in the front.
Okay.
On camera, there's a
A
hole.
huge hole. Let's add some more education then. We'll add more. Thank you. Guys, help me out here because you can see and I can't. So good job, Marisa. Is that better now?
I think I'm a little laggy on my end here.
Okay.
So,
Maybe Parker can tell. Parker,
Yeah, that's a lot.
have I got it?
Yeah,
Okay.
sure.
Yay. Because we can't have holes in our tribe. Our tribe is way too important for that. So we've got to make sure that we keep things filled in completely and levelly so that
yeah, there you go.
we don't have gaps. Yeah, and that's one of the things that's wonderful about the virtual world. As we all grow together, we can create more education. We can add more tulips. We can add more to learn. In fact, this summer, the team here at Floral Design Institute is adding 2 more classes to our curriculum, 2 more advanced segments to finish out the Weddings Well Specialist program. And it's been so much fun to be able to do that and know that we can share it worldwide and that we have that option. It makes it pretty fabulous.
Well, Leanne, it sounds like David is on it to get your cape. And Lori made sure to tell David to not forget the tights.
I need tights and a cape. Oh my gosh, this is getting a little bit. Oh my
And
God.
your name now is Super Tulip Woman.
Super Tulip Woman. I love it. You know, I'll wear that title with pride. I will. How fun. I've always wanted a cape. That would be kind of cool. I think I need that. You know, some things you didn't realize you needed until all of a sudden it's like, I need that. I gotta have that. Period.
We have a comment from Susanna who says that our teaching and creating, we're teaching and creating generations of florists. Her mom took our class 18 years ago, and she took it last year. And keep doing what you're doing. Great teachers and staff.
Oh, you know, that's one of the joys that I find is getting to be part of generations. We just had another student in the classroom who her mother took school with me 20-some years ago, and she was just in because she's starting to work with her mom and wanted to make sure that she knew the same things. Now, reality, 20-some years ago, I taught differently. And so the new student, the daughter, is learning so much more and so many different things than the mother learned that they both end up really benefiting from that. So bonus for both of them, because they can start comparing notes and seeing how they can be even more than what they were before. Now, a little bit of education, reflexing, just turning the petals back. Those of you that have studied your terminology in a basic and advanced, you know the term reflexing. You know how to do that. And it adds a little bit of sunshine to the arrangement. And again, that little bit different touch that comes with being a super tulip. Taking the ordinary and making it extraordinary.
Everybody on YouTube is commenting on how pretty it is and how tactile it is. They'd like to walk barefoot through it.
You know, and that is so true. And one of the things that I love about a pave style design is it does just invite you to touch it. It is a tactile experience. That's a great way to put it. Now, it's also a very expensive design. A friend of mine loves to point out that it is pave yourself to poverty. And there's some truth to that. Pave yourself to poverty because it takes a lot of flowers. But you know, to be the Tulip Tribe takes a lot of tulips. And there are many tulips that help us expand, help us grow. The Super Tulips take it a step further. People like Heather, Robin, Sue, Joanne, Julie, Beatrice, Roxy. These are the people that help us spread the word. They share. They let people know what the Tulip Tribe is doing. They share the lives. On Facebook, they push the thumbs up button so that it helps bring us up onto more feeds. They take a time to comment and respond to other tulips to make sure that the other tulips know they're heard, they're seen, that they're part of things. And in doing so, they spread our reach. They make us bigger. They make the tribe reach out to more people with, I guess, more intention. Because if a friend shares something and tells their friends about it, it means so much more than just a company saying, oh yeah, gee, we do this. You know what? Who cares what you do? Doesn't matter. What matters is how people can use it and how it speaks to them. So without the tribe doing all this outreach, we'd be such a smaller entity. We would have no impact in the greater world of floral design. We would just exist. But we need the tribe to go that extra mile and spread our reach, make it bigger, make it more substantial, really take us further and beyond. You can see I'm spreading out on my table here, getting to where I can almost not fit back here. Well, I kind of keep pushing some things. What else have you guys got going on out there?
Well, one of our newer online students, Caprina, also commented on without the Tulip Tribe, the newer online students and beginners would be quite lost without them.
You know, there's truth to that because the tribe becomes your connection. They're here to make sure that you don't get lost in the grand scheme of things. Because if you're brand new, you're still trying to figure out how to navigate your student dashboard, how to load something online so that your teachers can view it to critique. You're still trying to figure out what is that lesson and how do I do it and what's the best way to do it successfully. And it takes all of the tribe to take care of getting that information to you. And that, for me, is one of the greatest resources of the Super Tulips, is they help make sure that we can help all the students. Because if we can't answer quickly enough, you're sitting there wondering, well, what do I do? And your flowers are dying and you're not, and we're trying to get things done and make sure we get you answered. But all of a sudden, a Super Tulip steps in and gets you that answer even before we can. And that's pretty fabulous because that way you can keep learning. And I know some people use the Super Tulips as a resource even before they turn in their assignment. They'll post their assignment on the Tulip Tribe page and ask for input from the other tulips. And Super Tulips jump in there and give you guidance and help you know what is going to be the correct thing, what's going to work. You know, Super Tulips, they definitely rise and support other blooms and help them to rise. So it's kind of interesting that Caprina said that, because what I find is that Super Tulips, especially with new tulips, they'll help out. They'll give you insight, they'll give you direction, and in doing so, it allows you to rise a little higher. So with the help of a Super Tulip, all of a sudden, you can be a little taller. You can rise upward because they're guiding you. And some of our tulips that help with the rise, I'm always just kind of amazed because they jump right in there and they're giving guidance, they're sharing education. I think about Carl. Carl at Mother's Day was super busy. His store was crazy busy. But he still took the time, he still invested in the tribe to share. And he was asking the tribe, did you guys make notes about what worked and what didn't? Did you guys keep records so that next year you know a little more about how to have a great Mother's Day? And he took the time to type that up and post it so that the tribe would know. He invested in the group. And then he shared that one technique that he used was an add-on sale. For a small price, for every customer when they place their order, if they would like an additional bouquet delivered to a nursing home to someone who wasn't going to get flowers, he would take care of that. Now that's community outreach. It's being valuable to your community. Then sharing that with the tribe helps to lift them, rise them to a higher level, makes them better, makes them bloom. Then I had to laugh because this one just happened. But Amy is a super tulip, and Amy posted about a personal disaster. Yeah, because you know what? We all have disasters sometimes. But by posting her personal disaster with a bit of humor and a little bit of a laugh, she shared her learning and her lesson, which will allow others to rise a little higher. Her disaster was she was working on a bouquet in a holder, and the holder snapped open when she held it upside down to add ribbon to the handle and fell face down on the floor. Means you start over. You got to do it again. But it led to a quick conversation of, ooh, how do we present that in the future? And I thought, thank you, Amy, for sharing a misadventure that allowed you to guide other tulips to bigger, better, higher, rising to new heights, blooming. So those are the people we love. Now, age and circumstances, that doesn't affect it. They're not a consideration. You know, you could be Brayson. Brayson, I don't know if you're with us today, but I hope you are. Brayson is 9 years old. So he's like a bud. You know, he's just not even a fully opened scabiosa bloom. And we have many young people. And Brayson is a super tulip at 9 years old because he's there and he's participating almost each and every week, I believe, and I bet you he's here today. But then, on the other end of the spectrum, not 9 years old, but I'm not going to tell you the age because that would not be appropriate, but you have Loretta. Loretta is a super tulip. Loretta brings flower happiness to an adult living retirement home. She has helped to make sure that they had flowers on their table each and every week. And Loretta isn't 9. She's something 9. But age doesn't matter. Situations don't matter. What matters is that you share with the tribe and you give back and you participate. So if you wanted to be a super tulip, it doesn't matter if you're 9 or if you're 99. It makes no difference. Now, of course, some of our super tulips are a little prickly. Yeah, maybe a little harsher than you want to be. Now, but they do it with good intentions. They're not mean. They're not hurtful. But maybe they're a little more direct. So Orangium is kind of prickly, but isn't it pretty in there? It still enhances. Our super tulips that are a little prickly, they're not bad. They still enhance the group. They're just maybe a little more direct sometimes than others. And being super tulips, we all pay attention to that to make sure it never gets out of line. Super tulips keep us all in line. They make sure that even if we're a little prickly, we're not mean. We're prickly with love. Think about being a mom or a dad. Sometimes you have to practice tough love. And that, it might feel a little prickly at the moment, but then you grow and you realize, oh, I needed to hear that. I needed to know that. I don't like it, but I needed to know that. And then sometimes, as in every garden, some of the super tulips might start as a weed. Yeah, every garden has a weed. And they kind of grow. And you're like, oh my gosh, what is that? And you kind of stand back. And we have some super tulips that are weeds. But you know, sometimes a weed is nothing more than a flower that hasn't found their perfect place yet. And the weed grows into a beautiful bloom. And all of a sudden you realize that was no weed. That belongs in the garden. That's important. Absolutely vitally important. Let's look at a few more of the tulips here. I've got another page of super tulips. Anissa, Brenda, Renee, Natalie, Julia, Karen, Lori, Robin, another Lori, Christy, Penny, Laura, Beatrice, Rhonda, Sam, Sue, Genevieve, Helen, Jamie, Jennifer, Cindy, Marianne, Drake, Cindy, Amy, Brayson, Amanda, Roger, Sharon, and Annalise. There's another page. Let's set that aside. Here I have more. Super tulips are vital, absolutely vital to the success of the tribe and the success of Floral Design Institute. The super tulips help us and guide us. As teachers, we rely on the super tulips to know what we need to be teaching, to know which new courses we should write. Basic floral design, making sure that it is substantial, that it's current, it's on trend, and yet it is foundational. And the super tulips hold us to that. Advanced floral design, making sure that it takes them to the next level, where they want to be, where they are going, getting that certification. Another little bit of education from a Tulip Tuesday: when you need a lot of bind wire pieces, just wrap them around your hand so that you get a segment. Then give it a cut, and a cut, and a cut. And you get lots of little pieces. If you miss that, you can find all the Tulip Tuesdays on a playlist on Facebook, and that way you can get them all in one place. You can turn it on to automatically play, so it just keeps going, so you've got hours of learning opportunity. Thanks to Susie on that. She's the one that keeps our playlist going on YouTube, and Carolyn, who keeps the playlist going on Facebook, so that you guys can take them whenever you want to. Super tulips, they're connectors. They help hold us together. You know, people like Scott, Yawarity, how do they do that? They do it by enhancing the community. They comment. They respond to people. They share their experiences. They encourage. They support. Again, they share, they hashtag so that we can find each other. You know, that's kind of a challenge, is how do we find each other when we are all in different time zones and different places and not even speaking the same language. But with the connectors of the super tulips, it works. And you can see how having those connectors creates a safe shelter for everyone, so that you can ask a question and not feel like you're going to be ridiculed. It's a nurturing environment. And that's so important. I mean, and if it weren't for the Super Tulips, we couldn't do that nearly as much. Teacher Carolyn, Teacher Marisa, Teacher Michelle, Teacher Jerry, Shell, Anna, Susie Caledonia, Parker, myself, David. There's only so much time in the day. We can't do it all. But we know that it still gets done because of those connectors. They're the ones that keep it all together, that keep us all focused on the reality of nurturing, inclusive, connected, and doesn't let us waver. You know, it's so vitally important that we all have a safe place to be. It was funny because when I started teaching, oh so many years ago, and when I bought the school in 1988, I never dreamed that I would meet as many people as I do now, thanks to the virtual world. And it's interesting, I just got a phone call, a friend of mine just ended up getting a job with another graduate of ours. I had to laugh, it's like, oh my goodness. And then I was talking to another graduate who had been on vacation and just happened to stop in a flower shop, and it turned out to be owned by a fellow tulip. You know, we're everywhere. We're all over the world. And you are part of it. And the Super Tulips help us connect. Now, it's so important because without the Super Tulips, we couldn't do as much. There would not even be close to the same amount of education, the same amount of support, the same vital connection, because people can only do so much. I mean, that's a given. You do have to have a whole tribe. You know, I can write curriculum. Let's add some more base curriculum in here to cover up mechanics. I can write more and more curriculum. The teachers can study and prepare and greet you and take care of it and evaluate your designs and make sure that you know how to do it. And that's what we love to do. We love to write that curriculum. We love to welcome people to flower school. But then it's the tribe that once we've posted, welcome to flower school. Christine, we're glad you're here. Welcome to flower school. Tricia, we're glad you're here. Welcome to flower school. Well, we do that once. But then the tribe, they come on and they say, welcome, Tricia, we're glad you're here. Welcome. You're going to have fun. You're going to love it, and we're glad you're here. And then, when you're getting ready to post your lessons and you're like, oh my gosh, what do I do? How do I do it? The tribe is there to say, take a deep breath. You can do this. We got your back. It's okay. And it just warms my heart. Let's look at some more Super Tulips. Got to put my glasses back on again. John, Denise, Janet, Jennifer, Roxy, Uwarity, Jules, Curie, Carl, Joe, Nicole, Mary, Martha, Bergbora, Therese, Rick, Ann, Debbie, Yulia, Ginger, Rose, Dorn, Julie, Jill, Doanne, Brenda, Janet, Christine, Elaine, Rose, and Vicky. That was our first group of Super Tulips ever. We just started this. It's a brand new recognition. And I didn't know I needed Super Tulips, but as life has gone on, it's very obvious that we can't do it by ourselves, that you are an equal part of the equation. The teachers are here, I'm here, but equally important is you. Now, we'll be doing more Super Tulip recognition. It will expand, I promise. Not till later in the year, because we can't do it non-stop. We've got to, keep it figured out, but it is going to continue. And so some of you have reached out, how can I be a super tulip? And it is easy. If you want to be a super tulip, you need to support your fellow tulips. You need to support your peers. And how do you do that? What I would like to do is ask you. So this is the first question of the evening. I know normally we have lots of questions for you. Say, what do you think? What do you want? Today I'm talking. Man, those are a lot of words out of my mouth. But, in fact, I'm going to have a cup of coffee here, just a second.
And while you're having that coffee, we're getting lots of requests for you to turn your arrangement.
I knew that was going to come. I knew that was going to come, and that's why I did finish the other side. You know, many times when I do live, I do not finish. So I will do that, but my question, and I'll only do it if you answer the question. If you're a super tulip, and you know who you are, if you're a super tulip, what do you think is one of the most important things that others can do to help their peers, to help their teachers, to help their tribe? What would you recommend to them to do to become a super tulip? And then for those of you that aren't super tulips yet, that haven't moved that next step, what would make it even better for you as a tulip if a super tulip reached out and blah, blah, blah? What would make it better? What would you like to see a super tulip do? So 2 questions. If you're a super tulip, what do you think is an important step for you to do for the tribe? I've talked about what I think you do, but maybe you know even something more. And then if you're not a tulip, what do you think would help you to be even better, to help you bloom, to help you grow as a member of the tribe? So I'm going to wait for you guys to answer. I'm gathering some things. I will step over here and get my turntable. Oh my gosh, I knew that was coming. You guys always push me just that little bit more, and I was afraid I wasn't going to get it done, so I wasn't going to. But guess what? I got it done, and so I can turn it for you so that you can see that the Tulip Tribe is a fully rounded and complete design. So I'll turn it so you can see. I'll kind of stand aside so you can see it with the plain background and flip it around. You can see I squished one of my tulips there. In fact, maybe I'll add another one right now as we're twisting, because it got kind of buried in there and it doesn't have the full value that I wanted it to have. So let's take one more tulip and add it in there, just to get a little bit brighter spot of color on that side. What do you think? Ooh, and then I'm finding a hole over here, but luckily I have another bit of our base education, more in the basic floral design program. And while I'm turning, if you guys have questions starting to come in or comments starting to come in, let me know, and I'll turn this around another spin.
Yes, I'm gonna butcher this poor girl's name. Apolinar from the Philippines has been a designer for 2 years and wants to enhance her skills. What do we have available in our online classes to help her?
You know, if you've already been a florist and you've already got your basic skills, join us for the advanced floral design. That one, even if you've been a florist for years and years and years and years, will enhance your skills, let you look at things a little differently, and it's an excellent way to go about it. Then if you decide you want to go for full certification, getting your FDI CFD, you can always challenge the basic course, so you don't have to start over. You can challenge it which would give you then your basic certification paired with your advanced, give you your FDI, which would qualify you to test on to the CFD. So you do have options. The other things we have would be the Wedding Floral Specialist program, which includes bouquets to carry and flowers to wear. Those are both very on-trend, contemporary, advanced courses that can take you even further in the wedding and event world. So that would be good. So if I spun this enough, can I quit spinning? I feel like I'm the spinning queen. Oh, is that a dancing queen? I'm a dancing queen. No, I'm a super tulip queen. But so I'm going to scooch this guy over here.
Leanne, let's see. Oh, where did their name go? We had Izumi from Tokyo, Japan, who said, your design looks like a garden from a Disney movie.
Oh, I like that. That's a fun description. Thank you. I like that.
And then also a shout out to Jessica, who is an online student of ours, and she's joining us for the first time live.
Hi, Jessica. Everybody, this is your chance. Welcome, Jessica. Let her know she's loved. Do a shout out to Jessica, the first timer. If there are any other first timers, let us know. We love having first timers. Today, we're celebrating our Super Tulips, but first timers are also very important. And actually, we're all very important. You're important. Yeah, you. You are important. Each and every one of us bring a gift to the world. And sometimes it's really quickly apparent, and other times it takes a little while to figure out what it is. But we all have a gift that we bring to the world, and it's just a matter of figuring it out. So answers, questions, thoughts.
Well, I have over here in Facebook, let's see. So what I've been seeing so far is pay it forward, participate, comment, and share, welcome new tulips, share experiences, thoughts, tips, and tricks. But most of all, Leanne, what I see pretty much from everyone else's comment is encouragement.
Those are great, very much so. You know, that's as far as what I see that is so special about the Tulip Tribe is that they do encourage each other. There's no doubt that we have good days and bad days. That's going to happen. But no matter what kind of a day it is, the tribe encourages and supports and enhances and makes life better for everybody. You know, it may seem little to you at the moment. You may not realize what impact you're having on someone. But in reality, what you do each and every time you push that like button, each and every time that you push the thumbs up button on YouTube, each and every time you make a comment to a fellow tulip, you're touching their soul. You are spreading the love. You're really making an impact in the world. And I know that sounds kind of crazy, but it's so important, so vitally important. It's not crazy. Yeah. What else is happening out there?
Well, going back to your Superwoman tulip outfit. Let's see. So, David, if you're listening, Sue is mentioning to not forget the tiara. But then Karen also says, don't worry about the red boots because you already have those.
That is true. I already have the boots. And I have a bracelet, so I'm okay there too. But I need a tiara. You're right. I have always wanted a tiara. And I haven't found the perfect tiara yet because I don't want it to be too big, but I also don't want too little. You know, it's got to be perfect. And, you know, years ago, I was at the Indiana State Fair. I don't know, Indiana, in the middle of nowhere, except it's not really. Indianapolis is quite huge. But I was at the Indiana State Fair, and the best crown I have ever seen in my life was the Sheep Princess. She was the best. It was the greatest crown I'd ever seen. And I was like, I need that crown, but I don't have that crown. But yeah, because a crown is even more important than a tiara, maybe, you know. But I got to be realistic here, so tiara might be the way to go.
You need a custom-made crown or tiara with tulips.
Oh, wouldn't that be fun? Oh my gosh. And red jewels. It needs jewels too. Jewels and tulips. Yeah. Nothing really gaudy, just very blingy, very special. Tastefully blinged. Yeah. So I was putting together just a little bouquet because I was thinking again about how it's the little touches that matter. It's the little things that can make a difference in every single moment. It doesn't mean that everything you do is huge. It doesn't mean that you spend 8 hours a day trying to support the tribe. It means you invest some time. Maybe while the coffee is brewing, you take a moment and invest in the tribe. Maybe as you're working on your lessons and you're making a bouquet for submission, or you're making an arrangement for submission, or you're making a corsage for submission, you share to the tribe the goods and the bads, how it worked for you, and then you take those flowers and you share them in your community, with your family, your friends, spreading the flower love. Let them know, yeah, I am studying flowers and look what I created. I want to share this with you. So it could be just something little. It doesn't have to be big. What else is going on? I know we're down to our final minutes, so if you want to say what else would help you be a better tulip, now's the moment.
Well, just a quick comment, and so we have teacher Anna with us, and she helped answer a question, but we have a couple people wanting to know, Leanne, are those pink sweet peas that you have there?
I know, aren't they gorgeous? I know they are. The sweet peas were so exceptional, and I love that hot pink color. I just thought, that's what I need. And it mixed well with the orange. I thought, yes, so it's sweet pea. This particular one has sweet pea, yarrow, spray rose, carnation, lavender, which smells wonderful. Wish you had smell-o-vision. And then the bunny-tail grasses. Then I collared it with Galix for just a little tiny bouquet. This could be the type of thing when we talked about Carl and how he did the add-on sale, that just once you made a purchase, if you'd like to add another little bouquet for a small fee, it's not free, but for a price, that you will deliver flowers to someone that maybe doesn't get flowers. What a perfect way. And then sharing that with the tribe so they all learn. It's like, oh yeah, I could do that. So, Marisa, Carolyn, Parker, any other thoughts out there that we need to know?
Yes, Lana said that your superpower is spreading flower love.
That's a good superpower. Flower love to the world by way of the Tulip Tribe. I'll take that. That's good. Other comments? Anything else you want to say before we step aside for another week? I'll spin it again for you because I like to spin. And I knew you were going to ask for that. I just love it though. My Disney garden. How fun is that? So once again, we filled an hour. Isn't it amazing how quickly an hour can go? I'm always shocked that we can get so little done. I mean, we did 2 arrangements, but we had such a connection and such a time together. If you would like to be a super tulip, yes, we will have additional super tulips. Additional super tulips will bloom in the future, I promise. And if you would like to be one, It's easy. You need to support education. And for the students, the graduates, the Flower Lovers Club members, thank you. It's because of you that we're here and that we can give free education because you support education. And support it when you talk to people. When people say, oh, I don't need to go to flower school. Well, silly them. You know why they need to go to flower school. Help us spread the word that education is good. Support your peers. Encourage them. Help them when they have a bad experience. Help them figure out when they don't know what to do. Support your teachers. They're here for you, but they need you as well. I want to thank John. John made our Monday delightfully bright with his submission. It was beautiful, and it made coming to work on a Monday pretty spectacular, because when we went through the grading queue, we all had a smile on our face. So thank you, John. That made our day. That's how you can be a super tulip. Support education, support your peers, support your teachers, and help us spread the word of Floral Design Institute. Do that through posting, hashtagging, sharing, thumbs upping, all of those things. A big thank you for joining me today. Thank you, Susie. Thank you, Caledonia. Thank you, Marisa, Carolyn, Parker. And thank you, the tribe. We'll see you all next week. Bye for now, and get out there and do something you love.